Let's do some work. All right. Purpose, right? Let's start there. This is the big one. This is the first two things we're working on are kind of conceptual, right? Purpose and messaging, right? But this is one of the biggest one. If we're trying to do everything with our social media, then we're going to end up doing nothing, right? The biggest mistake that we make is trying to be an influencer, right? And I know that, you guys, hopefully at least, you guys aren't out there, showing booty shots and doing TikTok dances and all that shit. That's not what I mean when I say influencer. What I mean is you're following the general guides, right? The guru guides, the what does everyone do, the trends. There we go. It's been a long day. The trends that everyone else is chasing. But those trends aren't built, right? You have to post this many times. This is the kind of reel that you need. Oh, everyone's doing this fun new thing. You have to do it too. They're not created by business owners who are trying to get more leads and turn those leads into members. They're created by people influencers, right? Their whole life is built around likes, comments, shares, and then monetizing that, brand deals, all that stuff. But that's not us. So be very, very careful when you look at, this is just the accepted norm for social media. The accepted norm is made up for the 90+% of social media users who are individuals. We are not individuals. We're a business. We have a very, very specific focus, right? If Sally wants to jump on social media and she wants to post a little bit of her food, a little bit of her dog, a little bit of her working out, a little bit of when she's happy, a little bit of when she's sad, that's great. That's fine. That diversity of content and messaging and purpose works really well for her. For us, all it does is confuse the shit out of people and doesn't get us any closer to our end goal, right? So if you're not an influencer and we need a single purpose for our social media, what is it? I've already let it slip a few times, I think, but it's to turn interest into intros, right? Or whatever your first experience is, right? But either way, I'm trying to take people from being aware that we exist to being interested in what we do to being turned into an intro. Where's my button? Look, this is just a quick one to give you a bit of an idea, right? Again, I want to take them through the know, like, and trust. We've all heard that a million times, but what does that look like practically for us, right? I want them to go along that path. The attention starts when we get a follow, right? Or we pop up in their Discover feed or however, right? They become aware that we exist. The interest pops up in the post. Are we telling a story? Do they relate to that story, right? And then the intro comes from the bio or how our account is set up, because that's the link, all right? People probably, as a general rule, aren't booking intros through Instagram. And I'm mostly talking about Instagram today. All of this applies to Facebook as well. TikTok, don't even worry about it. The gateway to booking the intro is going to be the bio. That's where they're going to make that last decision. That's where they're going to click the link. That's what's going to take them there, all right? So we're moving them from attention when we get them to follow us, through interest on the posts, through to booked an intro through the bio. It all sounds really simple, but again, if we're trying to do too many things, then this pathway starts to flip over to here and this, and it goes all over the shop, right? That's why we want a single focus. Cool. So what does this look like? Right, and I'm going to kind of give a little bit away here, but most boxes, right, when I look at what they're posting, and I review, 5-10 boxes, Instagrams every single week, right, they've got the classic, a photo of WODs up there. Sometimes they might even put the WODs up, right, hey, this is what we're doing this week, right, they've got the in-house events, what they're doing, showing community, showing culture, I get it. Showing comps, right? Showing people doing awesome things, big lifts. And then the rest of it, we'll just call it trends, right? Whatever else is going on right now. But in general, if I say, what are you posting and why? I just, whatever comes up. There's no rhyme, there's no reason to it. And so if you're just throwing shit against a wall and seeing what sticks, you can't expect solid results, predictable results to come back, right? So what do we do instead? Instead, we're going to be very, very specific about it. First, we already know that the purpose to turn interest into intros, end of. Nothing else. There is no secondary. There is no tertiary purpose. That is it. How are we going to do that? And this is a bit of a sneak peek into later and into the next workshop. We're going to connect with them. We're going to bring them value. We're going to show them proof. And then this is the one that everyone forgets, the most important one, because everyone gets a little bit scared of asking the girl to the dance. We're going to invite them. And then once we've done that, we'll do it all again. We're going to connect with them. We're going to show them value. We're going to show them proof that this shit works. And then we're going to invite them in. And we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it again. We're going to do it in a bunch of different ways. It's going to look different every single time. But that's it, because all of those roads, as you'll see as we build this, lead to turning interest into intros. How's that tracking so far, guys? Are we happy with that? Does that all make sense? If we're trying to do a million things at once, doesn't work. But if we focus on that one single goal, all of a sudden things start to line up. Now, this is all good and well, right? And I don't think I've ever had a gym owner kind of turn their nose up at this concept so far. This next one, some people get a little bit weird about. So take it or leave it. I don't care. It's your social media, it's your gym. But just try and understand that it's very hard to focus on one single goal when you're trying to appease two different audiences, right? So what I'm talking about is your members and your future members, right? Those in your gym and those you want in your gym. The problem is, it kind of goes back to what we just wrote, right? What do your members want to see, right? They want to see big lifts, right? They want to see WODs. Whoops. They want to see comps. They want to see events, right? Most of the stuff that we kind of posted before, right? They want to see shout outs, right? All of that stuff. That's fine. And I want them to see that stuff. The problem is, what do our future members need to see? What is going to, because here's the thing, right? Every bit of content that you put out, every single thing that you put out, it's going to move the people watching it, the potential future members, closer or further away from coming into your gym, from turning interest into intros, right? And unfortunately, the positive content does this. It chips away a little bit at a time. One photo of some unit in your gym doing a ridiculous deadlift, or someone syncing together a bunch of muscle ups, does this, right? It's little gains and then a big drop back, right? So if we're trying to attract people and we're trying to put out happy stuff, right? What do they need to see? They need member stories, right? This is the proof, this is the connection, right? They need to see who we are, right? They need to see what we do. They need to see how we do it. They need to see this is the overall kind of walk away mantra that I want for them. They need to think, I can do that, right? Now, the problem is if we look at the content on the left, content on the right, there might be a little bit, there's a little bit of crossover there, but not a whole bunch. So what do we do? How do we make sure that we're giving the future members what they need? Because keep in mind, going back to the single purpose, your social media is a marketing channel, right? It's there to turn interest into intros. And anything that goes against that, anything that ticks that back the opposite direction, doesn't belong. So how do we balance this out? Now, if you've already got a system in place, right? Maybe you use a members group, or maybe you use something like PushPress that has its own kind of social function built into the app. That's awesome. You've already got a place to put all of the stuff on the left side, right? So that's great. Keep doing that. If you don't, this next solution is for you. And I'm going to make it really quick because it's not a big deal, all right? You have two profiles or two accounts, right? One is public facing for your future members, and one is private, right? You have to accept them as followers, and that's for your current members only. When someone signs up, you send them a link to both of them, but you emphasize that the members only Instagram page is the one that they really need. And this is where you can put your updates, right? This is where power's out, guys, no morning class, or it's a snow day today, no class tomorrow. Hey, we got an event going on. Hey, we got these t-shirts for sale. All of that stuff goes in there. All right. All the stuff that is just going to pollute your feed, and you'll start seeing this once you go back and review your feed. You'll go, oh shit, most people's feed, it's 50-50 at best, right? All of that stuff pulls away. If you want to highlight the beasts in your gym, all right, great. Highlight them to other people in your gym. Highlight them to people who give a shit about that, who will celebrate it, all right? Members in your gym, these are all my photos that I've taken over the years. So, unless your gym is the Torian comp, that's not it. But they don't need to see, the big rigs and the units on your public page, but your members do want to see that stuff, right? So that's the simple solution. Create a second account, give it a name that people aren't going to stumble across. You can see here, I've called this one, and this is a fake gym, by the way, guys. I've just created a fake gym and a pretend account here. All right, if it's Iron Summit Fitness, then I'm just calling it ISF Crew. No one's going to accidentally search ISF for Iron Summit Fitness, right? I don't want people accidentally stumbling across this. And then I can set everything up on this one. I can, my bio doesn't matter because I'm not trying to convert people. I can have whatever links I want. My highlights don't matter. I want to get them right, but it all just doesn't matter anywhere near as much. And then this one is going to turn interest into intros, and this one is essentially a retention strategy for your current members. Cool. That's just an easy way to solve that solution, right? But either way, no matter what, we need to make sure that you have a single purpose for your social media, right? Otherwise, you're going to try and do too many things in too many ways, and it's just not going to work.